Dobar dan svima koji su dostigli na Sinergiju. Good afternoon to everybody. Please stay with me for a moment as the PowerPoint content is being uploaded so we can all see it. Thanks, Dan, for the introduction. Welcome to Sinergija 21. Today's topic is Teams devices in a hybrid workspace. And how do we live and breathe in hybrid workspace? It's an interesting topic, primarily because 2 years ago, COVID changed the way how we work. And it changed it in a way that we all went home. And people who used to be in the office are not in the office anymore. And they had to learn how to work remotely. Me personally, as you did a quick intro, my name is Zoran Cvetković. I am a principal program manager in Microsoft Teams organization. I have been with Microsoft for 16 plus years. 15 years was when the 15 years was when I wrote the biography for Sinergija. 16th year started mid-November this year. Living in Toronto, Canada, married with 2 boys. As you can see, my kids are growing. As you can see, some of you can see throughout the years, my kids are growing. I lost the car privilege, so that means I'm not a passenger anymore. I am sometimes promoted to the rear seat, even though it happens rarely. Daddy still has the rights. Enjoy still skiing with the boys, traveling with the boys, and as I said, happily married for 20 years plus. Started my IT career in Sarajevo, actually. I was born in Sarajevo, then continued in Belgrade. Some of people on the presentation may know me from my Belgrade times, as I was very active at Sezam BBS. For those of you who remember Sezam, for those of you who don't remember, Sezam was a very popular chat service during mid-90s, late 90s, and then involved to Sezam Pro. And my first job, IT job, was for the Winter Olympics in 1984. I was an IT operator on a mainframe, which probably your iPhone or Android device today has way more capacity than the mainframe. We had actually 2 mainframes we had in a room in 1984. So, as I was saying, the world has changed. Throughout my role as a program manager, my previous role was a program manager at Skype for Business online product group. I learned how to work in the hybrid world, but lots of people actually were not aware because they were office-centric. And the experience with COVID has changed when people went home. And not only that, Microsoft Teams luckily had a vision way ahead for the hybrid workspace. And our goal is always connecting people around Teams. Teams is a collaboration platform. And how can you connect the people when they're on their own, as they're in the office, with the people when they're coming back to office? Because the back of the office is not the same as it used to be. There are less people coming for office. There is more diversity when it comes to hybrid. And how we can harness and leverage the power of artificial intelligence in the hybrid workspace and in the Teams meeting experience to enhance our lives. When we talk about Teams rooms, we look at every single room, from a small focus room going towards a medium-sized room where you have dual screens, where you have a whiteboard, going to the larger conference rooms where you have a larger presence and more space inside the room with bigger population in, and going into the hybrid rooms, because the hybrid work is here to stay. Lots of people get used to work from home. As I speak to some of my customers, they are planning to work from the office 1, 2, or 3 days a week and work 2 days a week from home. And how do you make those scenarios even more natural and more friendly than they were in the old environment, where the people will sit behind the desk. There would be a triangular phone in the middle, and people at home would feel disconnected. So for us, we have a big plethora, big choice of devices when it comes to Teams Rooms portfolio, to scale to any room, any size, and any scenario you may have in your organization. Starting from for all of those scenarios, for the rooms, the core of the room is Teams Rooms, Microsoft Teams Rooms, MTR. Teams Room is a purposely built device which can be extended with portfolio of cameras, displays, and everything to give you the unique experience for that particular room. From the MTR portfolio, we have a portfolio of MTR-A or Android-based devices from Yearling, Audio Codes, Poly. Then we have a strong portfolio of Windows-based MTR devices from Crestron, HP, Logitech, Lenovo, Poly, Yearling, which have a very higher compute power. And on top, we have our Surface Hub, which is natively part now of Microsoft Teams Rooms. Surface Hub Group joined the Teams Room 2 years ago, where we worked hard to give the native integration of Surface Hub into the Microsoft Teams Room. So what Microsoft Teams Rooms are? It's not a device. It's the purposely built room for Teams meetings, for the friction-free join, controls for every room. For your end user, it has to be very familiar, simple. Basically, meeting experience has to be the same as they are at home or somewhere else, and even better with a high quality audio, video, desktop sharing, and people can join a non-Teams meetings once they have to go and join the Zoom meeting or WebEx meeting through the direct guest join without needing to bring the other device. Realistically, they can just natively join those meetings as a guest users. On top, we power that whole experience with AI, with intelligent meeting room experiences. So we can elevate the personal presence in every meeting, voice control to streamline news, or capture in-room content to collaborate. So you don't feel disconnected because you are sitting at home. And on top, we did additional enhancement in management through Teams Admin Center, through the full set of role-based access roles. You can control, you can do the monitoring, configuration, device inventory. The beauty of TAC or Teams Admin Center, is that you can also see the status of peripherals, not only see the status of the core MTR device. Or if your organization is not comfortable with doing this, we have a program through Microsoft to have Teams Room Premium, which is basically monitoring and ticket management system for your rooms. So as I was saying, the core is MTR of the room, but that core environment is extended through the platform of Teams Room audio video peripherals required to complete that full room experience. You can look for the ViewSonic monitors or Sharp touch monitors, or if, for example, for the large rooms, you can have a panel-based microphone. So there are no Microsoft on the desk. There's just a small console on the desk, and you have a clean desk environment from Shure or Sennheiser, or enhance experience with the high-quality Logitech, Yearling, Poly cameras. visit our Teams devices portfolio, and you can build your room, purposely build your room the way how it's supposed to be built for the best end user experience. On top, there's our flagship platform, Surface Hub. Surface Hub was built as collaboration platform when it was built. This is our second generation. It allows us to do advanced collaboration and co-creation capabilities with a premium whiteboard. On top of this, it's all-in-one Windows 10 device with a very powerful Surface Hub 2S camera, microphones on the side, clear touch display, so it's a fully touch display. It has a beautiful pen, and it allows us to collaborate from anywhere. If you buy the Surface Hub with a mobile stand and APC battery system, you can roll the Surface Hub from a room to a room. And it's built to work and with a teamwork, with a shared space. So you can combine the Surface Hub to get inside the Microsoft Teams room as a content device where you would go and produce a content while you are still monitoring and being part of the Teams meeting, which is managed through the MTR. And the best part is, once you are done, you can simply wipe out the content. There's no reason to have a dirty hands from the traditional whiteboard, or walk away and then somebody else joins the room and see what was presented in a previous meeting. Something new we're introducing are Teams panels. They are designed to be in front of the room. It's easily to locate them, identify, manage spaces. With this world, it can also help you to determine how many people are in a room. There's something what you are bringing in there. So you can say, you can even have a status logo to say room is full, because if the room capacity due to COVID is now 5, but it's room planned for 20, you can do end-to-end room experience. You are pairing it with your Teams room system for connected solution. Customize it with your apps, with your backgrounds, and you can manage any space realistically. You can do the scheduling with no additional space required, even through the Teams panel. Currently, they are produced by Yealing and Crestron. We are planning to have more vendors with it. So when I was talking about the Microsoft Teams rooms, they are rooms which are people-centric rooms. And everything was built around them to have natural and very easy communication and very easy use for somebody who is not tech savvy. Couple of capabilities, and lots of them you may be familiar with, are, for example, proximity beaconing. This proximity beaconing in the new world is coming very handy for the people who may be afraid to touch any device inside the room because somebody else was ahead of them, through proximity beaconing, meaning I can bring my laptop, or I can bring my phone, and I can start the room system meeting from my device. I don't have to touch anything on the screen on the device. Voice assistants, Cortana-powered voice assistants. Companion features, like me being able to present my PowerPoint deck from my phone. Imagine standing in conference scenarios or standing in front of the room, presenting to the colleagues in the room. At the same time, you can monitor your content or alter your content and move your content through the phone. We are trying, and I will be talking a lot about inclusivity inside a meeting and meeting features that control that, from ability to raise hand, sort the people who raise the hand so you can address them, muting and muting audience. On top, with intelligent content capture, something we presented at Sinergia, I believe 2 years ago. I'm trying to remember that. I remember doing a presentation on this. And powered through the new whiteboard we are bringing, which could be controlled both from your Windows device, from your Teams room system, or in coordinated meeting through your Surface Hub. So if you look at the coordinated meeting, we are not bringing coordinated meeting for the Surface Hub. We will be bringing coordinated meeting also for the native PC devices or Macs, where you would be able to be in a meeting and have the same content coordinated inside the room and on your device while you are in the room. So at Microsoft, we talk a lot about inclusion. And inclusion means something, it means different for the different people. But for us, we want every single person in a meeting to have the same experience and to have a natural experience for them. When you look at the world population, statistics says that 80% of people are born with some sort of disability or disadvantage compared to the other groups of people. Even those, most of them are non-visible. For some people, disadvantage or disability could be that English is not their first language, that they are hearing impaired, that somebody has a visual disability. Our goal is to have environment where all people will feel included. They can represent themselves and they can collaborate without boundaries. Who would imagine that I would be presenting Sinergija remotely from my office in Toronto instead of being live in Belgrade, which I'm hoping to be next year in front of the audience live, if everything goes well. So for the people inside the room, as the people are joining and starting video, we would be bringing those panels or those people across the panels seamlessly, so you would be able to see them. That's one of the simplest examples. Across two panels, we are suddenly seeing the people as they pop out. Live reactions. People love hearts, people love thumbs up, people love smiles or claps. And as simple solution it is always well welcomed when somebody makes a comment to get the live feedback from the participants in the meeting that they agree or disagree, and they don't have to go and move their eyes or move their focus away from the screen they are looking at. And when it comes to some of the new features we are bringing a new front row. And I would talk a little bit about the importance of the front row in the next few slides. So you can see the participants at the eye level. People feel way better when they're talking to participant within the eye level, even though those people are on the other side of the screen. If they feel more confident, they feel more truthful versus looking in the side or looking down at the screen or looking left or right. The eye level communication is very important in our day-to-day conversations while in person. And why don't we bring that eye-to-eye coordination with the people inside the meetings? Hearing people with positional audio. How do we hear somebody on the left, hear somebody on the right? We can engage people with a fluid components, not only the PowerPoint, but agenda, taking notes, tasks, and other functionality which are already native inside the teams, and still continue to stay connected with the meeting chat. And who better to explain the whole scenario than two of my colleagues, Sohil and Greg, who are program managers for the Teams room system. Unfortunately, we couldn't bring them live this morning. It's very early in Seattle, but we would be able to hear some of the recording from the demonstration of our hybrid workspace. So when you look at this scenario here, it is that the room has a semi-oval space semi-oval space where people are looking to themselves the same way how you would be sitting in a room, but at the same time, they are focused on participants who are sitting at the eye level on the Teams room, on the Teams room. The positioned camera, which are positioned in the middle here, are allowing us to have that eye-to-eye view and eye-to-eye communication with the people inside the room. And positional audio also will allow the participants in the meeting to hear the people as they speak live in the room. On top of that, we are bringing chat on the screen, which is very important for the people who are not able to mute or unmute themselves. You were able to see that hand raise functionality was in the meeting also. So if somebody wants to say something and there's a very deep discussion, you can raise your hand to do the conversation. And at the same time, you can keep your notes running on the other part of the screen. So when we talked about whiteboard is something we are bringing as new. We are bringing a new Microsoft whiteboard. You can join this whiteboard session on any Teams room, whether the people would participate through the touch display, if you have a touch display in the room, or you can add Surface Hub in coordinated meeting for the ultimate collaboration experience. Last but not the least, you can actually capture the content through the content camera from your analog whiteboard. For those of you who are wondering what is analog whiteboard, it's a traditional whiteboard where you take your regular highlighters or markers and write on the whiteboard, while the content camera captures the content and it's able even to digitize it and bring it inside your whiteboard meeting. When we talk also about a different type of the rooms, what we are bringing is ability to project the camera from your laptop while you're in the room. And so your personal video is integrated in a meeting, but you are staying present in the room. So we are blocking audio and audio and speakers from the laptop itself by not joining the meeting, but joining just a video meeting. By doing this, we are preventing potential echoes or potential noise, which could be generated through the microphone loop in the room, while at the same time you are able to see people from a more natural look if they are sitting in front of the laptop in a large room. Despite the fact that in this room here, for example, we have positioned camera again to have that eye-to-eye communication between the participants and in the room and participants outside of the room. And what this means for the people outside of the room. Through our partners, we are bringing capabilities to have a high quality audio, and powered through Cortana voice, we can secure this speaker aware communication, which comes great to be able to identify the speakers who are in the room, to help the people who are having disabilities distinguishing who is who in the room, or not familiar with the persons in a room and would like to have like to address somebody personally in the room, knowing who spoke in the room previously. For example, if Quinn said something, I can directly ask or address Quinn. As I say, thank Quinn. Let's go and take this meeting to the next level with the client. So how do we do this? We do this with a large group of partners who are delivering high-end devices for us and working with them to create Microsoft Teams rooms. For example, through Logitech Rally Bar or Rally Mini Bar, you can have a nice view of the room, and at the same time, when you have a speaker speaking in the room, the camera will be focusing on the speaker itself. So you would feel naturally to hear the speaker, see the speaker, while also being part of the whole room, even though you are sitting at your home or in a remote office. Neat is coming with a neat functionality. If you take a closer look, we are having 5 individual videos, but those 5 individuals are actually people who were in the room, and the camera will do the detection immediately of the people who are in the room and serve this almost like individual video streams. So you would be able to see all the individuals in the room besides the fact they are sitting in the same office, feeling included, like you are in the room, and they would be able to see you inside this meeting. They are doing this through their Bar Pro and Bar Pad. So look for the new vendor who is an old vendor, but new vendor in our portfolio, which we are bringing into the Microsoft Teams rooms. Our good old partner, Jabra, is coming with a Pancast with the ability to do panoramic video at the bottom and also serving individual videos or using the camera as a content delivery camera. So imagine having a whiteboard, sharing a whiteboard, and you can basically capture the content. And at the same time, you would be able to see the panoramic video of the participants in the room. I believe lots of us have been in a room where something was produced on a whiteboard, and we were at a disadvantage because we couldn't see the whiteboard that people will send us the screenshots or made by the phone in order to understand what is happening on the screen. Last but not the least, our good partner from Poly, or if you remember them, their previous name was Polycom. Once they merged, they became Poly. They are bringing Studio E70 with a high definition, I believe 4K camera, which are able to zoom on participants and also give you the full room view through the Poly Studio E70. Teams rooms are evolving, and they will be evolving. We brought a large number of functionality, and we are bringing large amount of functionality in the Teams rooms right now through large meetings support for the Teams rooms on Windows, for example, ability to pin multiple participants, spotlight multiple participants. So basically you can control the spotlighting, meeting reactions, intelligent speaker general GA would be one of the functionalities coming, Cortana voice assistants, and on top we will be bringing more functionality also in this quarter still and in the next quarter through the front row preview, layout settings, split gallery support for dual screen monitors. This is something we showed earlier on it. And with the rich roadmap also on Teams Join and some of the improvements with the front row, for example, the one which we're speaking in here. This is what we call a front row experience. And including spatial video or positional audio, join meeting by the code, etc., etc. The best way to do this is to follow us at MTR Roadmap with a simple URL, aka.ms MTR Roadmap. If you are not following our blog, please do it. We will be bringing every very interesting topic on a blog soon, written by one of my colleagues about return to office and what do you have to plan to return to the office. We are expecting this blog to be published in the next days. It's in the final position. Or if you're interested in devices, you can go to our device showcase by going to office.com/teamdevices. With this in mind, I would like to thank everybody for participating, and I would open the floor for the questions. And please feel free, you can ask me questions in Serbian, Croatian, and any local language in the region, or you can ask me the question in English. Both of them are acceptable. And feel free, since there are not too many Teams sessions at Sinergija 21, feel free to ask any Teams question. I would gladly try to answer it. Floor is open.
Yeah, thank you, Zoran, for excellent presentation. Okay, others please, or we can switch to Serbian now. Možete slobodno ili da pišete pitanje u chat prozoru kao što smo rekli, ili ukoliko želite da se glasom uključite, podignite ruku samo i ja ću vam omogućiti da uključite mikrofon. Zorane, sačekat ćemo još minut, dva da vidimo da li će
Nema
neko
problema,
biti.
možete slobodno postavljati bilo kakva pitanja o Microsoft Teamsu. Kao što rekao, u Teams product grupi sam već, ja mislim, 3-4 godina. Proizvod je star 4-5 godina, ne znam, moramo da vidim kada će nam biti rođendan za proizvod. Teams Rooms devices za small SMB. Odlično pitanje. Hvala Pavle. Hvala Pajo. Ono što trebate da vidite je, trebate da vidite kakav hoćete da imate experience u sobi. Što je vrlo bitno je da dizajnirate sobu prema vašem experience-u, umjesto da idete da izaberete device prvo. Android device su generalno jeftini sa MTR, čućete dva termina MTR-A and MTR-W. Dakle, Android-based devices, Windows-based devices, Android-based devices generalno su napravljene za huddle locations, za manje sobe, dok W devices su dizajnirani da mogu podržati veću količinu periferija. Ono što trebate da izaberete kako ćete najbolje i najefikasnije komunicirati sa vašim korisnicima. Jer investicije u to, koliko god ljudi želi da kaže potrošili smo toliko količinu novca za tu sobu, morate da pogledate koliko ćete biti efikasni u njoj. Koliko će se vaši korisnici sa druge strane osjećati prijatno i osjećati više opušteno i biti u mogućnosti da komuniciraju efikasnije. Tako da posjetite naš website za devices, pa izaberite, pogledajte ili pitajte slobodno u Microsoft u Srbiji i u Microsoft ofisima u regionu, u Zagrebu, Sarajevu, Ljubljani, Skopju. Imamo vrlo jak tim ljudi, tako da ćemo moći pomoći oko izbora uređaja. Neko drugo pitanje, slobodno pitajte. Ako imate pitanja oko povezivanja,
Evo, kolega Ivan kaže, pišem rad na temu hibridnih komunikacija.
Ivan, slobodno kontaktirajte tim i Sinergiju, oni će vam dati moj e-mail, tako da možete slobodno da mi se javite, Ivan.
Da, Ivan, evo, možete kasnije da ostavite svoju mail adresu, mi ćemo podeliti Zoranov kontakt sa vama.
Da. Apsolutno, slobodno, bit će mi drago, možemo čak i da napravimo intervju ako ste zainteresovani, morat će da bude u popodnevnom vremenu za vas, tako da se ne moram vrlo rano buditi, ali vrlo rado ćemo to da uradimo.
Dobro, imamo li još nekih pitanja?
Nemojte se stiditi, možete slobodno da isključite i mikrofon.
Dobro, ukoliko nema, to ostaje ponuda, što se kaže, da podelimo Zoranov kontakt. Pa eto, prosto kasnije, što se kaže, offline, možete da komunicirate sa Zoranom. Zoran, ako ti hoćeš da dodaš još nešto, eventualno.
Pa, slobodno možemo završiti, ja ću biti prisutan još narednih 15 minuta, na 10 minuta koliko imamo još predviđeno za ovdje, tako da ako imate još neko pitanje, slobodno možete da pitajte sve što je vezano za Microsoft Teams i od konekcije, video device za kako se koristi Microsoft Teams, slobodno i drago mi je da ste prisustvovali i nadam se da ste nešto novo naučili šta planiramo za budućnost.
Odlično, hvala ti puno Zorane na ovoj sesiji, a ostale pozivam da postave pitanja Zoranu kasnije, koji će biti još neko vreme sa nama, i naravno da skenirate QR kod koji vidite na vašim ekranima, da odgovorite na anketu i da učestvujete u našoj nagradnoj igri. Mi ćemo nastaviti sa sledećom sesijom naše koleginice Nevene u 14 časova i 30 minuta. Hvala vam i vidimo se kasnije.
Hvala Dejane.
Hvala Zorane. Evo, mislim da kolega Mirko ima sad jedno pitanje.
Upravo Mirko pita da li planiramo da radimo switching. Planiraju se neke stvari. Nadam se, Mirko, da možete slobodno da se, ako hoćete da možete, ja mislim da se radi o pitanju gdje radite, kako da radite quick switching između, ako imate više naloga. Ne guest naloga, nego više naloga, na primjer, ako imate svoj personalni Teams i ako imate corporate, na primjer, account, ili ako radite za 2 korporacije i onda hoćete da prebacite s jednog. Da, upravo radimo o fast switchingu, na primjer na mobilnom Teamsu to je mnogo efikasnije nego tako je, sve boli i logout pa login. Nažalost, taj experience ćemo da unapredimo tako da će biti mnogo brži taj fast switching. Isto tako kao što se prebacujete sa guest accounta, plan je da bude da se možete prebaciti sa accounta u koji ste već bili prijavili. U nekim scenarijima moramo da budemo pažljivi zato što kad uradite logout, vi u principu obrišete cache koji je na lokalnoj mašini. I gledamo kako to da optimizujemo, jer ne želite da imate content u cache-u bilo kakav sa 2 različita tenanta. Čisto zbog privacy-a i zbog data security i slično. Tako da je to jedan od razloga zašto nam treba duže da se proizvod napravi. Imali smo već par iteracija kod nas na developmentu, tako da ćemo da vidimo šta će da bude u skoroj budućnosti. Vrlo bitan tip za sve vas je da ako restartujete Teams klijent, to vam je isto kao da otvorite browser, ali onaj content što se nalazi u cache-u, on ostaje na lokalnoj mašini. Ako želite da očistite cache iz nekog razloga, najsigurniji način da uradite sign out, taj sign out uradi kompletno čišćenje i polisa i svega sa mašine i onda kad se ponovo ulogujete, on downloaduje sve polise i downloaduje sve na mašini. Neko drugo pitanje? Nadam se, Mirko, da sam uspio da odgovorim na pitanje.
Kolega Milutin, vezano za Linux.
Upravo čitam pitanje. Da, pravit ćemo ovako. Radimo 2 velike investicije, radimo zapravo 3 velike investicije što se tiče poboljšavanja Teams aplikacije. Broj 1, radimo na poboljšavanju aplikacije za remote desktop. Radimo formirali smo dodatni tim u Pragu za VDI experience, tako za sve vas koji ste na VDI-u donosit ćemo jako puno poboljšanja po tom pitanju. Pod broj 2, investicija u Linux će da bude. Nemamo toliko puno klijenata, pošto monitorišemo live koliko klijenata se koristi po svim platformama, nemamo toliki acceptance Linuxa, ali smo svesni isto tako da imamo dosta thin terminals i scenarija gdje imamo Linux klijent. I radit ćemo dodatna unapređenja za i WinMac aplikaciju sa promjenom nekih u osnovnoj platformi, što je investicija koju smo napravili kroz Windows 11, a dodatno ćemo još donositi to u Teamsu na business strani on top, sad mi mozak stade kako se kaže on top, u odnosu na Teams for Lives koji smo već izbacili skupa sa Windows 11. Tako da će da bude poboljšanja u sve 3 zone. Nadam se da, nemojte me pitati da li će to biti za mjesec, 2, verujte, dosta investicije smo napravili i u kvartalu, u prvoj polovini kalendarske godine 2022. bit će dosta inovacije i poboljšanja na sva 3 platforme. VDI, Linux i PC Mac. Molim.
Hvala vama na pitanju, Milutin. Imamo li još pitanja? Koliko ne, to još jednom da se zahvalimo Zoranu i nadamo se da ćemo imati prilike da ugostimo i na narednim sinergijama.
Lično ću se potruditi da budem prisutan na Sinergiji 22. Poželio sam Beograd, nisam bio u Beogradu od pre COVID-a, tako da putovanje za Beograd mi je na top prioritetu. Nadam se da sljedeće leto i sljedeću jesen da se vidimo na Sinergiji 22.
Bilo bi lepo. Hvala puno, Zorane. Prijatan dan. Hvala svima.
Pozdrav iz Toronta. Vidimo se.